Yo, yo, ho, 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 yo, yo. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls all over the world. Y'all know what it is. Welcome to Chilltown Hoops. We get busy around here. Yes, we do. Even when the season is not going on, the season is going on. It's always basketball season around here. Not sometimes or most times, but it's always basketball season around here. So I would like to start the conversation this evening, right? I would like to start the conversation this evening with a congratulations to Team USA for getting it done yesterday against a damn good Serbian team. And Jrue Holiday completely flustering that lineup, throwing a monkey wrench in what they were doing. I don't think we talk nearly enough about Jrue Holiday. What up, AB? How you doing, brother? Thomas, how you doing, brother? Diesel, what's up, my man? Chill Will, G-Lo, what's going on, guys? How y'all doing tonight? I don't think we talk nearly enough about what Jrue Holiday has done for this Team USA lineup. And I know that a lot of times when we put groups together and we put units together, like guys are concerned about talent, and I'm concerned about talent too. And the concern that I have when it comes to talent is, how is this talent going to mesh? Like, how is this going to work between everybody? Because you can have too much talent and not have enough other guys, right? You can have too much talent and not enough other guys, and that's largely due to the coach not knowing how to distribute that talent, right? So I say that to say Jrue Holiday fits into this lineup, I feel like, great. I just had a conversation earlier today where just in today's game, this isn't all time. This isn't over the last 10 years. This isn't over the last 8 seasons. This is today. We're going into the 24-25 season. And I had posed the question, are there 3, not 5, but are there 3 on-ball defenders better than Jrue Holiday in the NBA? I don't think there are. Like, I feel like we could have a conversation about Alex Caruso, Herb Jones. That's as far as I'm going. That is as far as I'm going. Alex Caruso, Herb Jones. Like, I know that I've heard people talk about Jaden McDaniels, Lou Dort, Derek White, guys like that. But 3 of them, I can't name 3 on-ball defenders better than him. Kawhi is more of in today's game, Kawhi is more of a reputation defender than the defender he used to be. He's not the elite on-ball defender that he was 3 years ago when we were actually having a conversation about him being the best perimeter defender in the game. He isn't that anymore. He is not that anymore. So I'm watching that game yesterday with Team USA and how much he disrupted Serbia's offense, where he was beating their point guard to spot. Jrue Holiday has a great feel as a defender. He has great anticipatory instincts where the point guard's trying to get to the right side of the floor. Jrue's keeping him away from that side of the floor. Then he's trying to get back to the middle. Jrue's beating him to that spot. And that's now disrupting the flow of their offense. And with that disrupting the flow of their offense, right? With that disrupting the flow of their offense, now they're at a sink. So now Joker has to do more. Bogdanovic has to now handle the ball a little bit more, which that's really not who they are. And I don't think we talk nearly as much about Jrue Holiday. Add that to the fact that he's knocking down open shots and picking up 94 feet and picking up 74 feet. That makes him even more of a disruptor and a problem for other teams. I love everything about what I'm seeing from him. He's necessary. 100% he's necessary. So when I think about on-ball defenders, there aren't many that I can say off the top of my head that I'm thinking uh there aren't many on-ball defenders that I can think off the top of my head that I'm going, he's better than him. So shout out to Jrue Holiday. And I also got to retract a statement that I made. This was a while ago where I talked about the construction, right? This is what I also have to retract. I got to retract the statement that I talked about the construction of Team USA and how I'm not really a big fan of how they throw in units together. I got to retract that statement. And the reason why I got to retract that statement is because when I think about exactly how Team USA is put together, we do have some continuity. Okay, this is Kevin Durant's fourth Olympics. He's been on the Olympic team since 2012. He was on the Olympic team in 12, 16. He was on the Olympic team in 21. Devin Booker was on the Olympic team in 21. Jrue Holiday was on the Olympic team in 21. Bam Adebayo was on the Olympic team in 21. Jayson Tatum was on the Olympic team in 21. LeBron James, this is his I think this is his fifth trip to the Olympics. 04, 08, 12. This is his fourth trip. I'm sorry, because he didn't play in 16 and he didn't play in 20. So we've had continuity, but I feel like what we're doing now is we're moving I feel like we're moving out of that phase, and it's time to go younger. So Tyrese Halliburton, Bam Adebayo, Jayson Tatum, Jaylen Brown. I'm missing somebody. I'm leaving. I feel like I'm leaving somebody out. Tyrese Halliburton, Jaylen Brown, Jayson Tatum, Bam Adebayo. Those are the four guys that I'm thinking about off the top of my head that are the future of Team USA basketball. I feel like I'm leaving somebody out. And Edwards. That's who I'm leaving out. And Anthony Edwards. Those five guys I feel like are the core of Team USA moving forward. And we actually have I feel like we have that core. I think the difference is, right? I think the difference is that Team USA has been so much more supremely talented than other teams. Like this Serbian team yesterday, what I watched. Serbia runs great action. Serbia does not run good action. They run damn good action. But the problem is that they aren't as talented as Team USA. So they fall by the wayside. Japan, Canada, France, who I think I overrated. I think I overrated France, and I overrated France off the strength of both Rudy and Wemby being on their front line. Their guard play has not been what I thought it was going to be. I thought their guard play would be better, and it wasn't. It's not. Evan Fournier, even though he's a damn good international player, right? Even though Evan Fournier is a damn good international player, I thought their guard play would be better than what it was, and it's not. With Evan Fournier and Nikila, guys like that. I mean, they ended up cutting, right? They ended up cutting Killian Hayes, who they probably could have used him, to be quite honest with you. Maybe they could have gotten something a little bit better. But excuse me. But with that being said, the glaring issue that we have here, right? The glaring issue that we have here is Jayson Tatum not playing at all yesterday. Now, this is probably, to be honest with you, for all intents and purposes, this is much to do about nothing. And for a lot of people, this is an issue. I don't think it's an issue because I feel like it's the ultimate sacrifice. My issue is what's already been going on with him in terms of the narrative around him, and this doesn't help. The fact that KD comes in, KD gets busy like he does. James is basically the best player on the team. He's been playing the best out of everybody, right? Out of everybody, he's been playing the best. With that being said, Jayson Tatum, who, for all intents purposes, has been an A-level player. I think he's a top 5 player in the game. And the way he played during the regular season, and not just during the regular season, the last 3 years, and in the Olympics in 21, I think he was the second leading scorer on the team in 21. But with that being said, the fact that people already have this image of him, and the fact that people already have this image of him not playing in the Olympics in one game, like he's played through all the other exhibitions, and people already have this image of him. It just compounds what everybody already thinks of him, which couldn't be further from the truth. It could not be further from the truth. If you asked Kevin Durant, if you asked Devin Booker, if you asked any of those guys, all right, this is what the lineup is going to be today, right? This is what the lineup is going to be today, and I'm going to have to sit you. Would they make a stink about it? I don't see why they would. And the reason why they wouldn't is because being on Team USA, I feel like it's the ultimate sacrifice. You know, to play for the Olympic team, tell me what I need to do, right? Tell me what I need to do in order for us to win. Because this isn't about me, right? This is about us. And this is about representing Team USA. At the end of the day, this is about representing Team USA. This is about us. So tell me what I need to do in order for us to be great. Do I need to play 25 minutes tonight? I will. Do you need to sit? Do I need to sit in order for us to play? Right? In order for us to play, do I need to sit? Sure, I will. Because, I mean, I feel like that's what the sacrifice is about, to be quite honest with you. So, hey, Kenny. I think it's a lot to do with nothing, but I feel like what it's done, what Steve Kerr has done, and Steve Kerr even said himself, he feels like an idiot not playing him, right? He seems like he and to be honest with you, Steve, I don't know if I disagree with you off the strength that this is one of the best players in the world and who just came off of what he came off of, got busy the way he got busy. And in the process of him doing that, right? In the process of him doing that, they won the NBA championship, and he's getting on this. And on top of that, he's a veteran, and he gets on this team, and there's a matchup issue. So the Serbian team, they got big guards. So he didn't want to be at a disadvantage in that area. Jayson Tatum can defend on the perimeter with the best of them. He's one of the better perimeter defenders. I won't argue that. I think he gets busy on the perimeter as a defender. Well, Serbia's got a big front line. Well, Jayson Tatum's one of the better forward, one of the better rebounders at his position. If he's not the best, I think he's the best small forward in the game. And that's just me. But with him putting all of that stuff together, and you can't find, right, and you can't find legit minutes for him in any of these games, it just exacerbates the narrative that's already out there about him. Even though he did everything that you said he couldn't do. Even though he did everything that you said he couldn't do. And then it'll get exacerbated. So let's just say, for the sake of argument, they win the NBA championship next year. It's going to be, he was on a bomb squad. It's not that he got carried. He was on a bomb squad next year. So it's always going to be something with him. Always going to be something with him. So it goes in one ear and out the other for me. I do my best to not pay attention to that and to stick to the facts. And what are the facts? The facts are Team USA is more talented than everybody else in the world. And even though being more talented does not mean that you're going to win. It does not mean that, because you can run into some teams that aren't as talented, but they're more together as a unit, and they put it together better than you do. And because of that, right? And because of that, you end up on the outside looking in. Now, when I watch this, when I watch Team USA, guys like, I'm going to say Tyrese Halliburton, for example. I think Tyrese Halliburton should be getting more playing time than he does. And again, I think that exactly what Steve Kerr said when he talks about I only got 40 minutes, right? I only got 40 minutes. So with me only having 40 minutes, right? With me only having 40 minutes, I can only play a certain amount of dudes. But I gotta find run for Tyrese Halliburton. Tyrese Halliburton, if you remember in the FIBA World Championships last summer, he was a plus. He was one of the better distributors. I felt like I felt like it was necessary for him to be on the floor. He should have played in front of Jalen Brunson, in my estimation, last summer, because I thought that he was more productive than Jalen Brunson. I thought he was a better distributor. I thought he was better in transition. I thought his game, because of the way he passed, actually worked more for the international game. But Steve Kerr, I feel like the way that he plays and the amount of talent that's on this crew, he gets overshadowed. And it's not like we've had situations where guys who are elite players haven't played, right? I mean, Michael Redd didn't play that much on that 2016 Olympic team. He didn't play that much, even though I feel like he should have played, right? Even though I feel like he should have played more. Tayshaun Prince didn't play as much on that 2018. Even though you look at them defensively, they could have been, I think that they would have been better had he played. So, I mean, again, when we're talking about compounding the narrative, this kind of stuff right here where he doesn't play, it just makes it look bad. And then turn around and, they play South Sudan tomorrow. Yo, he's definitely going to play tomorrow. Okay, so we're going up against a younger team, more athletic. They're just as big, if not bigger, right? Just as big, if not bigger. And now he's going to play in this game, but playing against Serbia, that wasn't realistic. When in reality, yes, it was. It just looks bad when a guy that's that good is not playing. And I thought I just saw an interesting comment in the chat that Jason Tatum is this era's Paul Pierce. Paul Pierce never was a first team All NBA performer ever. Never made first team All Pro. Never. He never did that. Not one time did he do that. And to compare these two in this stretch, I mean, Jayson Tatum in year 7, Paul Pierce in year 7, that was in 2005. I don't think I do think that Paul Pierce was good, but I'd like to think Jayson Tatum is a little bit better than that. I don't think he's the era of Paul Pierce. I'm not buying that at all. That's garbage to me. That goes in one ear and out the other. I completely disagree with that. 100% I do. But KD comes in the game yesterday, and KD comes in the game, and with him coming in the game, he does what KD does. There's no way, in my estimation, there's no way I can see Kevin Durant in any other way, in any other capacity. He a bucket getter. That's who he is, right? That's who he is. He's a bucket getter. Every day, all day, he comes into the game, and this is what you can expect from him. He doesn't have the explosiveness that he used to have. He does not have that. Nope. He doesn't have the explosiveness that he used to have. He doesn't hop like he used to. He doesn't get out in transition. However, no, Diesel, you talk about Jayson Tatum like he's a scrub. That's the problem we're having. It's not that I'm dismissing Paul Pierce. No, I'm not doing that. You talking about Jayson Tatum like he's a scrub. That's where the disconnect is between you and me. But anyway, like I was saying, when KD comes in the game, okay, sure, he doesn't get down, he doesn't get up and down the floor like he used to, but he still is good enough to get to the spots that he normally can get to. He still raises up over guys. In the process of him raising up over guys, he can still handle the basketball with some of the best of them, right? He can still do that. So when he comes in the game yesterday, which was the spark that they needed, because they were in a hole. They were in a hole before he gets in the game. So when he comes in the game, he gets them rolling. That gets James rolling, right? That gets James rolling. Then that gets their offense rolling, because now you got to pay even more attention to Durant. Which now paying more attention to Durant means you got to pay more attention to Steph Curry. But you're not able to pay attention to all of these dudes. That's why, because Team USA is supremely talented, they just beat other teams. They run something. I feel like they run. I feel like they run some similar action. I mean, I feel like they run some good action, but I feel like it's more talent than anything, because I'm looking at this. I'm looking at this Serbian team. I'm looking at this Serbian team, and this was just yesterday that I was watching this. And man, Serbia runs some good action. I was explaining this earlier today to the fellas, where they have this one play where I think it's Bogdanovic, him and the two guard. Boggs comes down on the left wing. He sets the screen. It's not Boggs, it's their four man. He sets the screen. While he sets the screen, their two guard pops. He comes right back up. He comes right back up and sets the ball screen on the point guard. While he sets the ball screen on the point guard, I got misdirection on that side of the floor. Meanwhile, on the other side of the floor, I got both Bam and KD covering, I think it was Boggs in their four-man. And their four-man comes and sets a back screen on KD. I'm sorry, on Bam. When him's coming and setting the back screen on Bam, 9 times out of 10, the guy who sets a back screen, he's the guy that's going to be open. Whether it's a communication issue or it's just a natural reaction where I get back screen to try to recover. That's just the way that goes. So with that, both of those guys, both KD and Bam, go to the guy on the baseline. Meanwhile, that guy comes off that back screen and he's wide open at the top of the key. I'm sorry, wide open on the left wing. He misses the wide open long ball, but it's that kind of action, it's that kind of misdirection that I really like from teams like Serbia. Australia, I think they run the best action. Of all the teams in the Olympics, I don't think there's a team that runs better action than Australia. They just don't have the talent. That's the problem with them. When I look at Australia, they just don't have the talent. But watching KD, and KD has that kind of game where once he gets going, I mean, there's really nothing that you can do about it. Nothing. You have no shot when he's hitting fallaways, right? When he's hitting fallaways with a hand in his face at 18 feet. It's not like he's getting set up on a block where he's actually coming off a pin down, right? He's coming off of a pin down, or he's just running the baseline and curls, and he's got a guy basically draped to him. And in the process of him catching the ball and shooting, he's got a guy in his face 18 feet away from the basket on a fallaway, and it's still cash. It's still cash. When you got a guy like that, that's 6'10", that's that big, that got that kind of scoring prowess going, there's really nothing that you can do with it. Nothing. And all you can do is what I've always said about Scottie Pippen. If he ever, like, when I get the 96 Bulls versus the 2017 Golden State Warriors, All you can do with a guy like Kevin Durant is throw him off rhythm. And how you throw him off rhythm, I got to keep the basketball away from him. I have to. I got to do what I can as much as possible to keep the basketball away from him. I have to do that. Otherwise, I really have no shot. I don't, especially when he's in rhythm. I have no shot. And James, if there's a if we're being honest with ourselves, I mean, James isn't what he used to be, right? James isn't in year. This isn't 2020 James. This isn't 21 James. If you're being honest with yourself, it's obvious that athletically, right? It's obvious that athletically, James has slowed down. But what he'll do is he'll show you flashes of getting to the rim and dunking the ball. He'll show you flashes of that. But the difference with James is he's so smart, right? He's so smart that I just outthink a lot of you guys. So when you get Dennis Schroeder on him, when you get Dennis Schroeder switched on to him, there's really not much Dennis Schroeder can do. That's him smart enough to recognize that I don't have to settle for a long ball. I got Dennis Schroeder on me. I'm just going to just make a beeline to the basket. That's just being smart. And knowing that I don't have to step on the gas and keep my foot on the gas the entire game, because I don't have that anymore. I don't have the ability physically to play at that level for that long anymore. I just don't. And the reason why I don't is because I'm older, right? I'm older now. So I like how I like how he picks his spots, right? I like how he picks his spots. I like how he looks for other guys. I like how he still gets downhill. His international game translates, and that's largely due to him playing in the international game for as many times as he's played in it. And I just think that I still think he's fantastic. What I'm not going to do, though, is I'm not going to get caught up in this and think that, okay, James could do this for the whole season next year. Guys, the Olympics are only 3 weeks. That's it. It's the NCAA tournament. That's all it is. It's 3 weeks. So if you see a guy who in 3 weeks comes into the NCAA tournament and lights it up, right? A guy 3 weeks into the NCAA tournament and lights it up, you can't if you automatically said, all right, this guy's the best player in the country. Well, let's hold a phone on that, right? Let's hold a phone on that, because this is I'm not buying a short sample size of 3 weeks, particularly for a guy of James' stature and his age, and a guy who's been doing it for as long as he's been doing it. I'm not naive enough to believe that James at this age, even though he played 71 games last year, can do this for an entire season at this level. I'm not sure that could happen, but I do think that he's still elite. I said this when he was playing in the Olympics. I said that I didn't think that it was necessary to have him, KD, and Curry. I really didn't think that it was necessary off the strength that I felt like we got younger guys. But watching KD, if we're going to have him, he looks necessary. But watching James, if we're going to have him, he looks necessary. These guys look like they should be on the crew. And because of that, maybe I was wrong that having James is not a bad thing, but I felt like we could go younger. I did. Now, with that being said, I do think that we move forward after these Olympics off of these dudes. Ain't no way James at 43 years old is playing in the Olympics in 2028. No, not happening. No way that Kevin Durant at 40 years old is playing in the Olympics. I doubt it very seriously. I doubt that very seriously. So with that being said, I think this is the last go around. I don't think Curry's going to be around 4 years from now. I doubt it. 4 years from now, 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 I dou Steph Curry, James, KD. So with these guys, with these guys being where they are now, I still feel like we have a bright future with Team USA. I just think that continuing to keep this foundation, Tatum, add Jaylen Brown, Anthony Edwards, Tyrese Halliburton, Bam, keep Book on the team, keep Devin Booker, and shore up the front court, right? Shore up the front court, and with shoring up the front court, I think we should be just fine. I do. I think we should be just fine. I just don't like the fact that I I just don't like the fact that this narrative around Jayson Tatum exists, and then you have this. It just compounds it. It just does. And it seems like even though he did everything that you guys said that he couldn't do, that he wouldn't do, even though he did that, this just compounds the narrative. And it makes it, even though it's much to do about nothing in my estimation, because I still don't see him any less than what he already is, but it makes it look worse. It 100% makes it look worse. And I'm just not a fan of that, because we have one of the best players in the world. We don't have one of the best players just in the NBA. We have one of the best players in the world. And because we got one of the best players in the world, he shouldn't be treated, he should not be treated less than that. And I feel like he is being treated less than that. And that's unfortunate. That's definitely unfortunate. But I'm looking forward to South Sudan tomorrow, because they should handle those dudes, right? They should definitely handle those dudes. They shouldn't have a problem with them. You already seen them. You know what they look like, right? You already seen them. You know what they look like. And because you know what they look like, you know what to prepare for. You know how athletic they are, what type of action they run. And the fact that they got really good players, they do. They have damn good players. This kid that's going to Duke next year that plays on the elbow, I think he's damn good. Their point guard is really good. Wyndon Gabriel actually looks really good in the finals. If you didn't know anything about the NBA and you just watch these guys in international play, you would think a lot of these guys that played in the NBA were awesome. You would think that, like Jake Landale for Australia, he looks great in the Olympics. He looks fantastic in the Olympics. But to watch him, right? To watch him in the NBA where he's fighting for minutes, to watch him immediately blows my mind, because I'm like, yo, man, like what's the consensus on these guys? I understand that the European game is a lot different. I do know that. Right? I understand that the European game is a lot different than the American game. I definitely understand that. But the way that these guys are used, I think it's complete. I think that it would help their teams in the league if they were used more like that. So they should handle these guys, though, right? They should definitely handle these guys tomorrow, and I'll be interested to see. I'll definitely be interested to see what it is. What up?
Yo, what up, Chill?
What up?
What up, man? I don't even know where to start because I do think, for one, Kerr and Spo shouldn't be coaching the team because Kerr didn't make the playoffs. Spo got put in the first round. So I don't think we should have losers coaching this team. We need somebody that know how to use these young superstars. Because I don't think we need LeBron, Curry, and KD, but that's all Kerr know how to do. Tyrese
Mm,
Halliburton is a great player. He should be playing. I think it's easy to see that Anthony Edwards can should be playing, which is why Curry is using him. But he shouldn't be coaching the team. But with Tatum, man, I think I'm out on Tatum. I just can't. Like, I knew at the end of the year when I saw him play like that. Chill, I had my concerns, and I came up here and I told you, I was like, man, the way he's playing, like something's not right with him. And so now we in the Olympics, and you telling me a first team All NBA player is not playing for the American team in the Olympics? That's disrespectful, but that's on him. But
No, it's not. No, it's
that
not.
is on him.
No, it's
What
not. You can't give me legit logic why it's on him.
chill,
You can't.
legit logic.
No, you
Chill.
can't.
On player's choice, everybody kept criticizing you during the year when you said that Tatum was a top player. It's because the way he played. It's that is definitely on him. He was inefficient. Every time Tatum shot the ball this year, I was surprised that it went in.
What? What?
Previous years, I was never surprised when he shot the ball. Something was off with him this year, and this
So
carries over
and
into
so
the Olympics.
this 1 year. So now you out after this 1 year.
Chill,
That's what you're telling me.
it's a lot. I don't know what's
No, it's
going on
not.
with him.
No, it's
Yes, it is.
classic.
It's a
You
lot that could change in one
you
year.
talking to me out of both sides of your mouth. That's what you're doing right now, and it's
How am I
bullshit.
doing
It
that?
is. It is because this in previous years you just told me. You just said I never felt like this about him in previous years. This
Right.
year there's something off about him. So
Yes.
with this 1 year, even though they won the NBA championship on the strength of a lot of what he did, a lot of what he did. This isn't a guy who was just good. Okay, sure, he didn't shoot the ball that well. He still led them in scoring. He still led
Chill,
them
he
in
took
rebounding.
so many
He still,
shots.
so what? I'm the best player on the team. That's what
But he
happens.
didn't play like the best player on the team this year.
Actually, he did. Actually, he did. He
Chill,
didn't
if he
shoot
play,
it. He didn't shoot it like that. But you can't be convinced. And the reason why you can't be convinced, because you already got your mind made up. And
chill,
since we're on the subject
no.
of
I
and
was a
since we on
Tatum
the
fan to start
no,
the
you
year.
weren't. No,
Yes, I
to
was.
be out this quickly, no, you're not.
In the
There's no
middle
way
of the
you are.
season, I thought
There's
Tatum
no
should have been.
way.
I thought Tatum should have been MVP
There's no way that you, and
because he
in
was
fact,
leading
you
the
actually
best
came
team in
up
the
here.
game.
I remember that. I do remember that.
Yes,
You came up here and told me that you thought that,
and then
and
I kept
we
watching the
actually had a
games, chill,
conversation.
and he
Chill.
just wasn't
Why?
playing good.
So in these last couple of months, the fact that he wasn't shooting the ball good, right? The fact that he wasn't shooting the ball good, you automatically are out. It wasn't that he didn't do all the
No,
other stuff. In addition to him scoring, because it wasn't like he wasn't scoring the basketball at all, because he was scoring. That was going on. But because he wasn't shooting the ball like you want him to shoot the ball, just like that, you're out. Just
chill.
like that, you out.
It's not just the shooting
So
because I was
if that's true, you was never in. Because you just
okay.
told 3 months ago, you just told me 4 months ago that you thought he should have been the league MVP. This was after that. I remember they was playing Detroit, and you told me that there's what other player in the league is the best player on the best team in the NBA and is not considered league MVP. You told me that. So now we go from that to a couple of months later, you're out on him. You were never in. You were never in.
Chill. So Giannis is a player. Before I started rooting for him, because like I said, I like guys that win. So before I started rooting for Tatum, I was a huge Giannis fan. Giannis isn't the best shooter, but Giannis made great decisions. He would play defense and would get rebounds. Tatum, even though his shot was off, he was still shooting the same shots and he wasn't making them. You have to adjust your game whenever you're not making shots. A lot of those games, sure, he was taking bad shots after bad shots. To me, when I was watching those games, I felt like Derek White and Jrue Holiday should have been the one initiating the offense. Every time Tatum was initiating the offense, most of the time it was lead to a turnover or a bad shot. And then I remember telling you that's why I think they should have brought back Robert Williams because I think that Robert Williams was a key piece into to expanding Tatum's game and bringing out the best in him. So now we're here in the Olympics and he's not playing. You can't tell me this isn't a big deal, man. I think what like Ox said earlier, he needs and because I think he's even though he's playing bad, I think it just looks bad to have a first team All NBA player not playing. That's disrespectful. So what I think he should do is I think Tatum should drop out of team should drop out of the Olympics.
Damn.
Yes, and he needs because that's disrespectful. You can't be disrespecting him like that. That's not even good for the organization. So he needs to drop out of the team and he needs to work on his game this summer. And he needs to come back next year and he needs to win MVP and he needs to get back to the player that he used to be. Because if he keeps playing like this, if he keeps playing like this, it's not gonna be a good look for him. And he might not even make an all NBA team this year.
Damn. So we go from being here to going to the bottom. Okay. All right, my man. Good to talk to you. No
all right, man.
Yep. Wow. Talk about from one extreme to the next. That's pretty incredible right there. Let me tell you. What up?
Man,
Wow.
you are tolerating some BS right there, man. You were tolerating some dumb shit right there. Man, chill.
That's pretty incredible right there, man.
You remember I told you this thing would end in 5 games?
You did say that.
Like,
yeah, you did say that.
I did say that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm not high on JTSU, but like its own indictment on Steve Kerr and him being terrorist coach that he did not play Tatum, not an indictment on him. Sure, would there will be a game where his jumper is not falling and he is making some turnover in passing? Sure, there would be those games,
Mhm.
but you know what there will be? Game 7 in Philadelphia, where he will be hot and drop 50.
Mhm.
Like there would be game like this, and yeah, this is indictment on Kerr, not on Tatum. And I'm tired, really tired of seeing that Halliburton getting DMP. Like no one is talking about this, and this is dumb shit.
His
Like
minutes, his minutes dropped as not just the prelims went on. I don't think he played yesterday. Now,
Tyrese
I don't think he,
Halliburton
I don't,
got DNP.
yeah, I
He
don't think he played
got
yesterday.
DNP for He got DMP for like maybe last 3 or 4 games. Heck, in beginning game two, he was playing garbage time.
Yep.
Like most of the time when game was close, he was not even playing them. Like this is indictment on Coach
Right.
Kerr. Like not M them and like chill. And why is so much? Why is a guy after winning a championship? By the way, championship is treating like he's some bum. Like what are we talking about? He's Slava Medenko from those early Laker team.
So
He's
like
talked about like that.
like he can't, and I think it's really interesting. But with that being said, he still did what everybody else said that they couldn't do. He did everything, and it's not like they had a difficult time with doing it. Now, I'm already on record saying this, and I stand on the logic how they blew out the Miami Heat. If you think that this Miami Heat team with Jimmy Butler, after how the Celtics handled them, put Jimmy Butler on the floor, and instead of them, because they beat them in 5 games, 4 to 5 games, they had a 28, 29, 33, and a 38-point lead in 4 to 5 games that they won. If you think that Jimmy Butler is going to make a
I am
difference in
not
that,
making even part in that foolishness. Like the
this
current
is all I'm
squad.
saying. This is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
This is all I'm saying, Killer. If you, I don't mean you specifically, but if you think that Jimmy Butler is going to put a dent in that and make this series that much more competitive, you have to believe Jimmy Butler is at minimum, he a top 5 player in the game. You have to believe that. That's number one. Number two, they did what they were supposed to do. It's not my fault that you guys couldn't hold up. That is not our fault that you guys couldn't hold up. They lost 1 game on the road in the playoffs this year. One that rivals the Golden State Warriors in 2017. They lost 1 game on the road, 2 games the whole playoffs.
Warriors was even undefeated in road. Okay, yeah. 1 game in road, 1 game in road. Yep.
They
I
lost
remember.
that 1 game. So with that being said, what they did and the way that Jayson Tatum played, the way that Jaylen Brown played, the way that that unit played, they did everything that they were supposed to do. And in the process of
Like
them doing that, I mean, I don't know what else. I don't know what else you want them to do. He had a closeout game, which I thought, to be honest with you, I really felt like in that I felt like the winner, whoever got the busiest in the closeout game would be the one who ended up winning Finals MVP, because I didn't think that there was a real clear-cut guy to win it. And I thought that with Jayson Tatum doing what he was doing, I thought that he would have won the Finals MVP. I didn't have a problem with Jaylen Brown winning it because he got busy. But I thought that Tatum was the one who was going to win it. So
I think another under discussed aspect about this Boston team is they play JT at 5 a lot. And it was super effective. Heck, it was game changer here. Borderline. Like
So
even without KP, they win the Dallas game
yeah,
3. Because JT at 5 was really effective.
yes, absolutely. I won't argue that. Hey, Killer, good to talk to you, brother. I appreciate you.
Hey man.
Yep. Breezy, what up, my dude?
Chilling, man. It's good seeing you, man.
What's going on, my man?
Chilling. Yo, I wanted to ask you, Chill, it's because I heard that it was credited to Tim Duncan and Popovich, but them bringing a Euro style to the NBA. I don't know how consistent that is, but what I want is that consistent? Is it?
A little bit, yeah. They did what with guys like Ginobili, with guys like Tony Parker. I mean, don't get me wrong. I do believe that Greg Popovich saw the future with Tony Parker, even though he wasn't big on him early. Tony Parker basically grew on him. He was really hard on Tony Parker early, very much so.
Mm.
Just like Manu Ginobili, he was hard on him too. So with that being said, I do think that style got implemented with the San Antonio Spurs, with Tim Duncan playing the 5 spot, or Tim Duncan playing the 5 and playing more in the mid post, playing more on the wing, not necessarily 18, 19 feet away from the basket, but playing more in the mid post, playing more 17, 16 feet away from the basket, 15 feet in the mid range, and being able to knock down shots like that. And they sped the game up too. So yeah, I do think that the Euro style game was definitely more implemented in, because prime example would be 2014. If you see how the ball moved, I mean, that's classic Euro basketball. Classic Euro basketball right there.
Not well, you just answered my question. Shout out to you. But that's what I was asking, because it seemed like the four was able to space the floor, and that was the significant difference from the translating from the EuroLink to the NBA, is that the four could space the floor now,
Yep.
and that's what Duncan Dirk did.
Yep.
So it is true. Now, I really could have only asked you, man. So shout out to you, man.
Yep.
I just wanted to ask that one question, Chill.
Absolutely, brother. Good to talk to you, Breezy. You know where to find me at. Yeah, that's essentially what it is. That's essentially what it is. So I look at I look at that run that they had, and not necessarily that run that they had. I just look at what's going on with Team USA, and I still feel like, this team shouldn't have a problem winning a gold. They shouldn't. Right? They should not have a problem winning a gold, but there's some issues, with rotations, and there's some issues with rotations, and in the words of my man Marlo Stansfield, it's one of them good problems. And I understand why. Steve Kerr has, Steve Kerr's got a lot of talent to distribute, and distribute minutes too. And there's some people who aren't particularly happy about guys not getting playing time. I don't know if y'all noticed, but Stockton didn't play much, right? Stockton didn't play much on the 92 Dream Team. He didn't play very much. That's not my opinion. That's a fact. He didn't play very much at all. I mean, there were guys. This is what happens when you're on a when you're on a team that's supremely talented, right? When you're on a team that's supremely talented, there are going to be some guys that are not going to be able to play as much, right? There are going to be some guys who are not going to be able to play as much. And if they're going to play, they got to accept a different role, right? They have to accept a different role. So with that, right, with that being said, that's where the sacrifice comes in. So to hear, Jason Tatum should leave Paris. Wow. Why am I doing that? Why would I do that? That would be ridiculous. No way would I leave Paris, right? No way would I leave Paris because I'm not playing as much. Huh? I mean, he just showed you this season that just passed. He just showed you what season that just passed in terms of sacrifice, what I need to do. So, oh yeah, Breezy, they just put these out and on Player's Choice. Take it light, but take it. Yeah, they just if you go to the icon on Player's Choice, you can snag one of these. Absolutely, you can. I feel like, right? I feel like with this Team USA, they should not have a problem, right? They should not have a problem, and I'm definitely going to see, right? I'm definitely going to see that game tomorrow night and see how these guys are, right? And see how these guys are, but we'll see. We'll we'll definitely see. So to transition a little bit, Mars Blackman, what's up, brother? To transition a little bit, I had a blind react that I did not too long ago, and I got some real criticism for it. Which, I mean, this is why we do what we do, right? This is why we do what we do, and I had a blind react, and with me having a blind react, I didn't know which players were going to come about, right? Thanks, Breezy. Appreciate it, brother. I didn't know which players were going to come about, so I basically had to blind react and rank these guys accordingly. And it was 2000 Shaq, 06 Bryant, 16 Curry, 18 James, 09 Wade, 01 Allen Iverson, 14 KD, 03 Tracy McGrady, 22 Curry, and 04 KG. And I had Steph Curry. I had 22 Steph Curry at the bottom of the list. Once I actually reconfigured the list, and I actually did it over. And in the process of me doing it over and looking at the landscape and everything that I had, and I ended up having Curry at the bottom of that list. And I was trying to figure out, because the list, the way I had, because it was a blind react, I had to put I 04 KG last, and I had to put him at the bottom. It was terrible, right? He was the one that I got last. So when I ultimately fixed the list and I actually had it the way I wanted to have it, I definitely moved KG up. I think I had him at 5. I had 18 James at 1. I had Diesel at 2. I had 16 Curry at 3. I had 06 Bryant at 4. I had KG at 5. I had 09 Wade at 6. I had 01 Iverson at 7. I had 14 KD at 8. I had 03 Tracy McGrady at 9, and I had 22 Curry. I had 22 Curry at the bottom of the list, and I got some flack for that, right? I ended up getting some flack for that, and I understood why. And the reason why I understood why was off the strength that the Golden State Warriors won the NBA championship in 2022. So that's all people look at. I don't think that they remember, because maybe you can straighten me out, because maybe I misremember who Steph Curry was in 2022, because he wasn't that good. He was not that good. After he broke the 3-point record, he went in the hole. He broke the 3-point record around the middle of December, if I'm not mistaken. That first, if I'm not mistaken, that first week of January. So from that first week of January, he didn't get hurt until the end of the season, Brandon. Focus. That first week of January up until the All-Star break, he had went the other way. If you want to talk numbers, like he couldn't shoot the basketball. That's why they were rushing Klay Thompson back, which they didn't have to do because Jordan Poole was actually playing really good. But they rushed Klay Thompson back. So it was of those years when they started winning the NBA championship from 2014-15 up into the 21-22 season. That's 8 years, right? That's 8 seasons. This was the worst version of Steph Curry, right? This was the worst version of Steph Curry. So what you're telling me, right? What you're telling me, I just want to make sure that I'm understanding this correctly, because this is what I had gotten. What you're telling me is that version of Steph Curry, which is the worst version of him, is better than the best version of Tracy McGrady. Is that what I'm understanding? Right? Is that what I'm understanding? That version of Steph Curry, which you saw in 2022, that version of Steph Curry was better than the best version of Dwayne Wade. Is that what you're telling me? I just want to make sure that I'm following you when I understand this correctly. Right? I just want to make sure that I'm following you correctly. Brandon, you don't even know how to debate. You don't even know how to stay on topic. That's why these people in the comments, they think you are goofy, because you don't know what you're talking about. This is the same dude that came on my show on Saturday and told me that, quote, if I'm not mistaken, because I heard him in the background talking to his mother, because that's who he is. But anyway, he came on my show and said, quote, Joel Embiid shits on Joker. Those are his exact words, right? These are his exact words. Joel Embiid shits on Joker. He scores it better. He's a better defender. He shoots the long ball better than Joker, which is not true. Categorically, you 100% that. You said, quote, I want to make sure that I don't want to misquote you. You said that Joel Embiid shoots the three better than Joker on more volume. You said that, quote, end quote. You said that, which is categorically not true. That is not a fact. That is not a fact. On top of that, the only thing I'll give you with Joel Embiid, is I think that he scores the basketball a little bit better. All the other stuff, and I'll give you the defense. Rebounding, I think Joel Embiid, I think Joker is a better rebounder. He's a better rebounder in traffic. I think he's better on the offensive glass, which 100% affects the game. He's a better processor. He's smarter. He's better on the block as a distributor. He's better on the wing as a distributor. Joel Embiid, when he gets the basketball, he is a ball stopper. That's not my opinion. That's a fact. He is a ball stopper, but that's neither here nor there. I want to get back to what I was talking about when I'm talking about this blind react, which I didn't realize how interesting that was. Like, listen, see, this is what I'm talking about. You can't name one thing Joker does at an elite level as a scorer. I shouldn't even talk basketball with you. There's no way that I can talk basketball with you. None. Name one thing that Joker does elite as a scorer? What? Are you serious? You're not cooking anything. Matter of fact, I'm done talking to you. You're right, D. You are 100% right. I will definitely do that. Yes. Get him out of here. He's a goofy. At 100% he is. Get the hell out of here. He doesn't do anything at an elite level as a scorer. What? That's some of the goofiest shit I ever heard. Joker is not an elite scorer. He can't do one thing elite as a scorer. So he doesn't finish around the rim elite. He doesn't do that. He doesn't finish around the rim elite. He can't shoot the basketball at an elite level. What the hell? I mean, that's some of the wildest shit that I've heard. We got to get rid of that guy. Sorry. No. I don't entertain that sort of stuff. No. I can't entertain that sort of stuff. I won't. So I know that I don't know everything, and I know that there's some things that I get wrong, but you're not going to sell me that on any level. No way are you going to sell me that on any level. So yeah, it's about that time for me, guys. It was good to see you guys tonight. Y'all know what time it is with me. Y'all know right? Y'all know for a fact that I'm here during basketball season and during basketball season. So this is still basketball season. Still, even when we only got the Olympics going on, this is still basketball season. 100% it is. So I'm still here, guys, and I'm not going anywhere. I will definitely be here. I ain't going nowhere. I will definitely be around you guys, and I will continue to bring you what you need. But until then, put on a suit, drink water, don't drink and drive. Hey, man, call your mother. When last time you talked to your mother? Call your mother. Call her, man. Absolutely call your mother. I will see you guys soon. But until then, take it light, but take it. Good to see you guys tonight, man. This was absolutely good stuff. 100% it was.